Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And we've just come back from the UK Games Expo 2024.
What an experience, guys.
What an experience. It was so big, Matt. It was epic.
It was one of the best things ever.
One of the best things ever.
We can't wait for 2025 now.
Absolutely. It was the biggest and the best UK Games Expo there has ever been.
Do you want to give a little bit of numbers?
Let's throw some numbers at you. So in this show, there were 65,281 people over the whole weekend, which is madness. Such an amazing number, the biggest one ever, third biggest show in the world, and it's only getting bigger, which is amazing. And over 500 exhibitors, Matt.
Yeah, a lot of exhibitors, 500 exhibitors, probably 1,000 games,
So it's just
if not
lots,
more.
just loads of games there. It was amazing. What a phenomenal show. And what is this video, Matt? We saw a lot of that show, but what is this?
This is the top 10 from UKGE.
This is our best in show.
So, a little bit of rules. What happened? So this top 10, besides being very, very difficult, we've been chatting for the last couple of hours about
What's the top 10?
Keep in mind, there were so many games that was literally impossible to see them all, to play them all. So we narrowed down this one to the ones that we actually managed to play or to sit down with the designer and the publisher to discuss about it.
We can watch them being played. They had to be available to be played.
Yes, we're gonna do a couple of honorable mention later in the video about some games that we think are really good, but we didn't manage because they were not playable to let you know about it. But yeah, it was very difficult to make this list, guys.
It was a really hard decision. Just to get them in any sort of order, but we have for you, and it was a challenge.
Yeah, we had to fight on a couple of things.
We did, we had a rumble. I've just come back from the hospital, and Matt went easy on me. But do you know what's very, very easy and not a difficult decision?
Is to hit the red button and subscribe to the channel.
It's the easiest decision you can make. Much easier than the debate we've had.
And if you hit the subscribe button, you can see all our stuff whenever it comes out. We still do 2 videos every week, so we try to push as much content as we can. Go check out the rest of the content that we got. If you're interested in the UKGE stuff, there is tons of content that we're still pushing out.
We worked like dogs the whole weekend. We were talking to people, we were getting interviews, and we were about as busy as anybody at the show, and we've got the content to prove it. So go check all of that out. There is a playlist specifically on UKGE issues. So you can go and see that, see everyone that we spoke to.
And you can see a lot of stuff, a lot of upcoming games, and you can hear it straight from the mouth of the horse, or from the designers and the publisher of those games. So definitely go check in all the interviews that we did during UKGE.
Absolutely, Matt. So without further ado, should we get into our best in show?
Let's do it. All right, let's start with our number 10. But before the number 10, what is already my number 1 is all of you guys.
All of you people.
All the people, all of you guys that we actually managed to meet at the UKGE, and we managed to have a chat with you guys, giving you
super nice.
one of our pins or one of our stickers, and it was absolutely great to see you all. And because that's what we're doing, is to get in contact with you guys.
And go have a chat with you. So thank you very much for saying hello. And our number 10, Matt, is a game by Hachette Games UK, who have brought this to the UK market. It is a tremendous, bit of a sleeper hit for us, because I didn't see this coming.
No,
this one slapped me sideways. And it is great. It is Middle Ages. And Middle Ages, designed by Marc Andre, who is the designer of Splendor, amongst other games.
Yeah, so you know what, we're starting from the top.
That's our baseline. Our baseline is Marc Andre and Middle Ages. And what a fun game this was, Matt. I did not expect this.
It's so good. So we haven't, it was on any of our preview videos. This was literally like a gem that we found there and then.
Tom specifically found it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Tom, for bringing the game out. And we managed to play it. It was absolutely great. And what the game does
Yeah, it's essentially an engine building game. You are creating your own fiefdom, and it's done through engine building and an open draft. The clever thing with open draft, Matt, is you have your token, a little token, and you kind of reserve the tile that you want for the next round.
Yeah.
But the further along the tile that you want to reserve, the later in the turn order you.
Yeah, it's got a very good mechanics in that sense. So you got this open market with the tiles.
Yeah.
And you need to plan ahead of which tile you're gonna take next turn, or sometimes even 2 turns after, because you know if you're gonna be the last one on the next turn, then you might be the first one on the 2 turns after. So there is a lot of them, and again, you building your own board, you're building your own little. City, castle,
exactly.
And
interactive as well.
You start building your engine, you start building your city, but your city is gonna always interact with the other players. So, for example, you got the castle that you can take, and that will augment your defenses, because then instead, if another player play the barracks, they gonna basically raid all the other
everyone else that doesn't have a higher defense than high enough defense.
So it's really yes, you're building your own kingdom, your own board, but it's heavily interactive with the other player. That's something that I really like, and it's not just like a solo
interactive solo game.
No, absolutely. And again, Hachette Games that during the show, well, they brought out so many
absolutely
good games.
Killing it. Oh my goodness,
insane. But yeah, no, absolutely. Top 10 Middle Ages.
Fantastic game. So, moving on to our number 9, and Matt, this was yet another unexpected find.
Yes, so during the press event, it was the night before the UKGE Open, we went there, we were doing our usual stuff, interview here, interview there, and Wayne almost had a heart attack when Eric Lang was there, in person, was physically...
Literally bumped into the man. I went...
And
hello, Mr. Lang.
Yeah, and this was like a big surprise, because no one knew about it, and he was there to show us the new game that he made in collaboration with Hasbro and Avalon Hill, and is live in Reterra.
An amazing game. What a game, man.
Besides managing to actually speak with Eric Lang, that was like touching him, that was like
touch the man.
A dream. So this game coming out probably in the next few months, because it's going straight into retail.
Yeah, because it's out in the US right now, but they're doing it region by region. It's not in Europe yet. So it will be out later, but hopefully by Spiel. Certainly by Spiel.
The game is, we're talking about another tile placement games. However, this is more like the feeling that I got from it. It was take King Domino, take Cascadia, and
Carcassonne
take
as well.
A bit of Carcassonne, mix it up together, and then you got your game. Again, there is a tile market where you're gonna take your tile, each one per turn, and you're basically rebuilding Hurt. That's why it's
building a community for yourself. It's great.
And it's really nice. It's really simple. It's again one of those Eric Lang games that you can explain in 2 minutes. However, it can go really tactical. The strategy
it can also be very interactive. Really scalable game as well. So you can set the game up to be as interactive as you like, or set it up to be very multiplayer solitaire, depending on how aggro you want to be. Really nice, smooth gameplay map.
It is.
Polyomino pieces, do one thing on your turn, classical Euro design. We had a chat with Eric Lang about it, and he said, going back to basics almost, deconstructing his game design philosophy and his career to make this game, in his own words, his most ambitious game that he's made.
It is, and again, it's toward the lighter side.
Yes.
Of this scale of the board gaming scale. However, it's got that King Domino Cascadia that is like available to everyone. You don't need people that are heavy board gaming to play the game. It's something that you can put on the table with everyone, and they will learn it and they will play it immediately. So it's like amazing.
I mean, it's tremendous. absolutely loved it. Not just us, the podcast team. Tom and Simon also played it independently of us.
Yep.
And they came to us and they went, we played Life of Reterra. It's brilliant.
Yep.
And we went, so did we. It really is. And you should check that out as soon as it comes to the European market later this year. Life in Reterra.
Great. Let's go with our number 8. And for number 8, we got a game from Sit Down Games that we think is a brilliant publisher. They came out last year with Maps of Mysteria that we really loved. And now we managed to actually sit down and have a look at Redwood.
What a game. So Redwood is super interesting. And what we love about this is it's doing something different. It's being unique. It's
unique,
trying to
yes.
challenge existing paradigms of gameplay. It is a wildlife-themed game,
Yes.
which is like a very relaxing theme, and it's doing wildlife photography.
Yes, so you basically go around taking picture of animals.
Trying to make a scene, right? Trying to, this animal by this woods at this time of day.
Yes. So in practical, the practicality of it is you got this round board where you're gonna move your photographer around, and you need to pick up a certain animal in a certain environment. The board is going to be split in 4 different environments, but you need to move around the board thinking about where the animal is gonna move as well. So there is like a set collection
as well,
mechanism into it, and you're basically taking this picture where you need to get a certain animal with a certain environment during a certain time of the day.
In a certain space.
I think is magnificent, and how they trying to do it. The movement on the board is great.
Really, really cool. So it has this fantastic sort of movement templates, which you'll basically plug into your little your piece on the board.
Yep.
Then you put your other piece at the other end of the movement, and then you'll take the template away. And that represents how far you've gone and where you've moved in the environment.
And that's great. And on top of that, once you need to take out your picture, there is another template. Will depends on what lens on your camera you're gonna use. And you can change the angle. You can see, okay, I can see that animal, but I can't see that plant. So
I need to move it this way or that way. Really, really smart.
It's unique. It's unique, and that's what we really like in games. It's just like when designers trying to push out of the box and making like new mechanics. It's fantastic.
How can you blend the theme of the game and the mechanisms to make that beautiful, seamless interaction? Then you get pure joy, and Redwood has done an amazing job of that. And that is our number 8.
Redwood.
Okay, for number 7, Commander, what have you got for us?
We got the super secret game that we managed to see at UKGE, and we're talking about Mass Effect, the board game.
Yeah, baby!
We played it. Another Eric Lang game, and we managed to speak with Eric Lang about this game as well, thanks to to Chris at Modifius
and
as
Sophie,
well.
thank you.
And Sophie, absolutely, thank you very much, because we had the chance to speak with Mr. Lang about it and then to play the game. Again, we were not able to shoot any photos or videos of it, so we'll try to get some images now, but you will have to do it with what we're telling you about the game at this point. And it's dungeon crawler.
Kinda?
You can explain that. Give it a go.
I'll give it a go. It's definitely a cooperative game. It is a short campaign, is how I describe it, where you're going to be playing up to a maximum of 5 missions through your campaign, 3 main missions, and potentially 2 loyalty, side quests, 2 loyalty missions in the Mass Effect universe. Each mission will play in about an hour, maybe slightly less. So you could do a whole playthrough in an evening if you wanted a long evening.
Yeah, if you want to do,
It's like a tactical co-op game where you have a hex-based little map. You're going to be moving around the map, killing Cerberus bad guys, hacking turrets, hacking doors, trying to get to the end of the mission. And the mission will have its own objective, And here's the kicker, and why this is so great in the Mass Effect universe. You can choose to do the mission in a Paragon or a Renegade way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if you think about it, the board is something similar to Jaw of the Lion.
Yeah, Jaw of the Lion. That's right,
so
like
you will have your book that you will open. The map is going to be on one side. So the maps are kind of like small, and on the other side of the page you will have the information about the mission, what you need to do, what the side quests are, and what is the Renegade or the Paragon way of doing it, and what happens if you win or lose the mission. In the game you can win or lose the mission, and then we'll push the story to go this way or that way. Again, then you got 4 players, 1 to 4 players. One players will always be shepherds, so shepherds always needs to be in the mission.
Gotta have Commander Shepard.
However, the other 3 are all characters taken directly from the Mass Effect universe. So it was great to play in.
Yeah, you had Garrus, you had Liara, we had Rex. It was superb.
Yeah. And the very unique things of the game is about the dice pool. So at the start, the first player will roll, if I remember right, like 12 dice.
11 or 12 dice.
He will pick 3 of those dice and then pass the rest to the next player. The next player can then choose if they want to pick any of those dice or if we want to re-roll that. So the next player is going to have 9, then 6, and then the last player will be last with 3 only dice. So he can, if he's lucky enough, he can pick some whatever he wants, otherwise he will have to re-roll it. And this mechanism is quite intense, and it makes it very, very thinky, because you got this dice pool that everybody needs to share around, and of course each character will have different ability and different things they can do. So you will have the sniper, you got the support character, you have each
all-rounder.
So it was very, very interesting, and I think it's gonna be one of those games that's gonna sell a lot because the IP is strong, and story-wise is based during Mass Effect 3. However, it's nothing to do with the story of the game.
It's like a new story.
Yeah, it's a side. It's kind of like a side story to the main one. And talking about the campaign, so you say it's a short campaign, and this is what Mr. Lang explained. Is like they wanted to do a campaign that you can finish.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can then replay and try a different path along the
It's meant to be replayed multiple times because then you've got lots of upgrades for your character and XP, and they're all mutually exclusive. So the next time you play one, I might try different abilities and powers, and try different paths, maybe do it Renegade this time. Branching storyline as well. So this looks super interesting. It's going to sell buckets. They've really tapped in pretty well into the Mass Effect ethos. It was a fun play.
In a nice way,
in a respectful way.
Yeah, for me, video games and board games
is always
this one you feel the Mass Effect into the game. Yes,
absolutely. So that's why it's our number 7, Mass Effect.
Number 6, and for number 6, after being in space, after rebuilding Earth, what better than actually building musical instruments?
Absolutely. Some violins, some cellos.
Yeah.
And therefore, our number 6 has to be Luthier by Pavison Games.
Yep, the same guys that brought to us Distilled,
which is an amazing, incredible game. Luthier is just stunning. I mean, what an amazing theme. So this is set in sort of the age of classical music.
Yes.
Right? So you've got Beethoven's and Stradivari and everyone like that. These amazing musicians and artists and writers. And the idea of Luthier is you are a maker of instruments.
Yeah.
And you are trying to make instruments for your patrons. So Beethoven might be coming up to you and saying, I want one of these. Can you make it for my troupe of musicians? And then you make the instrument. And then if you make it well enough, you will get to score a bunch of points. There's some amazing things that this game does, Matt, which the main one of which is really interesting, is a blind bid with worker placement.
Yes.
Really clever. So you've got workers that you're going to place on different places to do actions, but at the bottom of your worker is a number. And that determines how, like, the skill level of that worker. And if you've got multiple people on the same place, the
highest one is going to be the one. Yeah, it's
clever.
It's one of those games. This is wide in terms of, like, there are a lot of different components that you need to look around during the board. So you have your own board. You need to check what's happening on the board. But on the board, you're going to have the shop. So the
workshop, and then you're going to have the performance.
Exactly. So at
patrons.
At the same time, you want to build your violin or your cello for the best musician, but at the same time, you wanted that to be in the orchestra, and then you want to be the first violin. And so there is a lot, like, kind of like worker placement, and then there is this kind of like area control as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And it looks absolutely stunning. Everything is history accurate.
Yes.
So the guys actually got someone like a
musicologist.
To actually make sure that everything was accurate and everything was as history says. And so that is, I find amazing when a designer and a publisher goes down that deep to make your game good. I find it great.
It's got to be commended. They've gone all in on the details in the production for this game. It is absolutely tremendous. I played it in a very early prototype 1 year ago, pretty much to the day, and it was amazing then. And it's even better now, and the production
looks
is
stunning.
Staggering. This is going to be another slam dunk from Pavison Games. So do go check out Luthier. The campaign for crowdfunding will come out slightly later this year.
Yep.
So do go sign up for it and be ready to make some sweet music. Okay, Matt, we're getting into our top 5 now. Ooh. It's getting a little bit spicy. And what have we got for number 5 on the list?
We got the definitive edition of a legendary game that was Yellowing Yahtzee from Mr. Raya Knizia. This new version is called Huang, and it's basically a great game made of tile placement, area control, and it's one of those that is very simple to teach, where you just do a couple of things during your turn, but the tactical, the strategy behind that, it goes deep.
Super deep, and it is exactly that. Dr. Knizia has done it again. I mean, this is a re-implementation of a game called Tigris and Euphrates, which is the one before that.
Yep.
It's a slightly stricter game. Some people prefer that one. Some people prefer Huang, or what was known as Yellow and Yahtzee, this new version. This is slightly more forgiving than Tigris and Euphrates, but it doesn't really matter. They're two approaches to the same type of game, where you're just doing 2 actions on your turn. You have 5 actions to choose from, and with that simple choice, you have what feels like unlimited depth.
It is.
And it is amazing. You're going to be placing different tiles, and they're all going to have different effects. You can place your leaders out, you can start wars, you can cause riots. And the production of Huang.
I was gonna say. So you got 2 versions that you can choose from. You got the basic one that got some fantastic standees. And then if you really like it, there is another version where you can get the miniatures as well. And that looks fantastic. The playmat. But no, both the production for the cost that for the money that you're putting on it, they're absolutely fantastic.
The game is amazing.
It looks great.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm not going to say any more about Huang. It is stunning, and if you know the game and if you've missed out on it, go and get it now.
1. All right, let's go with number 4.
To the moon.
And we go into space, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's not sci-fi.
No.
It's real science stuff.
Yeah, science fact, not science fiction. And we're staying with science fact with Seti. Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence by Czech Games Edition.
What a game.
Oh my goodness. They're smashing out of the park. Last year they had the big hit with Kut Horror.
Yeah, and this year with Seti, I'm expecting this to go like way
It's going to go gangbusters. It is They are knocking out the middle heavyweight Euro at the moment, CGE, and this is no exception. It is a game with over 200, I think, unique cards, and all based on real technologies, Matt, which is the most fascinating thing about it.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's why we're talking about real science versus sci-fi. Everything in the game, again, is factual. So all the cards, so you basically trying to find extraterrestrial life,
evidence
outside
of life on Mars or wherever.
Exactly. And so each card that you use, you got this big deck of cards, and it's going to be a little bit of hand management, and but everything is like, oh, I'm sending the ISS out on this quadrant of the galaxy
to do this research.
I'm going to use this telescope to search in this other quadrant.
Well, the Large Hadron Collider and all of this amazing stuff that we know from physics today. It's tremendous.
Yeah, and the very particular things is going to be the board. So on the board you got these rotating boards made of 4 different layers. You basically you got the sun in the center, and everything else is going to rotate. That it means that before playing your cards, playing your action, you need to think about it like, all right, where is the, I don't know, this or that planet is gonna be
in the orbit that's gonna get my probe.
Exactly. Because you don't want to send your probe out in the deep space for nothing. So it's really interesting. It's a heavier game, I would say.
Yes.
It's more toward the heavier side.
Heavier still than Cooking Horror, I think.
It reminds me a little bit of Endless Winter, where it's kind of like for the number of things that you need to look after. So you need to look after your hands. You need to look after the movement of the galaxy. You need to, once you find extraterrestrial life, each one of them will give you different effects onto the game. So there are a multitude of things that you need to look after. That's why it's more on the heavier side. However, it looks fantastic. I can't wait to play it.
Absolutely tremendous. So, we're at science fiction all the way up to the point where you find extraterrestrial life, and then it goes. Sorry, we're at science fact until the point where you find extraterrestrial life, and then it goes into science fiction a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit to make it more interesting.
Make it a little bit spicy, because that's the point, right? It's the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And who knows, maybe they're really out there.
I want to believe.
Okay, Matt, we're moving to number 3. And oh my gosh, what a number 3. This game, Matt, I had zero expectations. I didn't know anything about it.
It was up on my list, but you did not, almost nothing about it. And what you think?
Freaking amazing. What is number 3? Tell the people.
Number 3 is 1 versus 1 game that I love as a normal type of games, but this one literally like mind-blowing, and it was Ironwood.
Ironwood by Mind Clash Games.
What a game, guys. What a game. So again, it's a 1 versus 1 asymmetrical game. Each player will play a different faction. They will do 2 different things. You got your map where you can move your troop around, and you basically fight. One side is going to be the Ironclad, the one that's trying to destroy the forest and to mine everything else. And the other one is going to be the woodwalkers. They're gonna try instead to save the forest. It's got each one's got its own different decks, so both the decks are different,
completely different.
It's gonna be an end management of your deck, so you need to know more or less what cards you still got in there, and it's absolutely amazing. It's not just the card game that you do against your opponent, but at the same time you use the map to move the troop and to move whatever you need to do. For example, the steel guys are gonna move their drill along the map, trying to drill out the diamonds and bring it back to the base, while the wood people will try to save it and rescue some of the relics
and their relics.
Some relics around. So it's not just the card game; it's the area control and movement. Of course, with your cards, you will be able to summon more troops or to move the troops from one place to the other, and then to fight the other player. And to fight, you will have the cards that will let you fight. They will have a certain amount of fighting power or tactical power. They will
defending
add,
power. You can force people to retreat.
Yeah, it's absolutely
what a game.
Mind blowing. I love it, love it, love it.
And by the way, the price of this game for the production that you get is an absolute steal.
Yeah.
If you can get in on the, if you can't get in on the with the pre-order, just go and buy this game.
Yeah, as soon as it's come out in, I think the pre-order is closed now. But as soon as it comes to retail, I mean, the amount you're getting in that box, between the map, between the metal tokens that you get, absolutely insane.
And it's just a great quality game, really, really fun. Vibes of Netrunner, but but with a much more emphasis on the board.
Yeah, it gave me like Netrunner, Pagan, Fate of Renoki. Absolutely great. Plays in an hour. It goes intense. You go intense. Yes.
Great game, and that's our number 3.
We are at number 2. Ooh, what a journey already.
I know.
Number 2, we got a fantastic game.
Yeah, we do. We're talking about the OG revival games.
Yes, it's the version 2.0 of
Cyclades. Cyclades by Bruno Catala is a legendary game, phenomenal area control game.
Yeah.
And this version of it, again, brought to the UK market by Czech Games, is the best version of this game.
It is.
Full stop.
It is.
And what a game.
So, before we start, this is not
my God, what a game.
It's not... It's a great game.
What a game.
It's not a reprint with nicer components. It's a reimagination of the game. So basically, if you got the original one with all the expansion, they took the best bits of each expansion, put it in the main game, reshuffling the rules, changing the boards. So before it was like a static board, so now it's a very much like Inish, that you can change the board around. So each time you play, it's going to be a different board. So different tactics, different strategies. And then for the rest, they kept all the things that make this game one of the most famous area control games.
Absolutely amazing, and Cyclades has this wonderful bidding mechanism, and we love bidding in games, right? Like it's such a fun mechanism, and it's implemented so well with the changing gods that are fickle. So you need to make sure that you are giving them enough money. But don't, make sure you can pay for it.
Or they will be very angry.
They'll be very angry with you.
No, I do really love the fact that you got to play your action. You will need to please one of the gods that are available at that time. So you will have to bid your money on. I'm gonna point my money on Zeus to do this. Exactly. To do this or that action. But at the same time, you're only gonna have 4 gods available. And one of them is going to stay still, that is Apollo, is going to stay there.
He's there for you, man.
The time.
He'll be there for you.
While the other 3 gods will going to rotate.
Yes.
So, there's going to be Ares that want to do Mars. How do you say Ares?
Ares. Mars is the Roman one.
I used the Roman one. Come on, but anyway, Ares wants to do war, so he's the one they're going to let you fight against another player. But if he's not on the board available, you can't do it. Absolutely. So you need to always strategize what you're going to do this turn, and the turn after, and the one after, and the one
lots
after.
Of thinking ahead.
It's amazing. And then the fact that you can buy the heroes or the monster and put them on the board, that was just like
that's so
amazing.
Cool, right? I'm going to hire this
Epic.
monster to eat my opponents and just do stuff. But you then need to make sure that you can look after the monster and feed them.
Yeah, you need to feed them priests.
You got to sacrifice them. Or they'll go away again.
Amazing.
What a game.
We had a blast playing it. I can't wait for the copy to arrive to us because I want to play more and more and more. And having the modular board is something that I absolutely love. It's going to make every time you play a completely different game.
Guys, this is just an amazing game. I mean, if you like area control, this will be one of your favorite area control games if you go and pick this up. So a massive, massive thanks to Rob and to Kylie for showing us the game. What a game!
This goes in my top 10 of forever. For sure.
Big statement from Matt. That's our number 2 of the show, Cyclades Legendary Edition. Before we get to number 1, we're going to do a couple of honourable mentions that were not playable at the show, or at least we couldn't get to play them because there was one table. But specifically, Undaunted Callisto 2200 was not playable at the show. It was just there to see, and the more I see that game, the more hyped I get about it.
Yeah.
It is a tremendous game. It is a sci-fi implementation of the Undaunted mechanism.
It looks
with
amazing.
A board and it's just
the fact that now you're gonna have a board with different levels,
verticality,
adds verticality to the game, and then you got big mechs or whatever you want, you want. To know more about it, have a look to our interview with the Osprey guys. We're gonna put it.
We'll put it up there
somewhere here, so you can see what the game look like and have a little bit more information.
And another one, Matt?
The second one I want to mention is Terminus.
By Inside Up Games. Connor showed us this, and my gosh, it's coming to backers, I think, now at this moment, being delivered, and you might be able to pick up a copy soon, and we'll hopefully be having a review for you soon as well.
We'll try something for you to place our magic for you.
Terminus, my God, how exciting is that
game? Take Ticket to Ride and make it...
Crank it up to 11. What a game. So route building with subways, and Inside Up obviously very famous for Earth, which was their massive hit, and coming back with what looks to be another big hit. So
it is. They say it's their heaviest game they ever made.
They're ever gonna make.
It does look heavy. There's a lot of things going on. They say they're never gonna make another heavy game like that. But it looks fantastic. It looks fantastic.
There's a couple of honourable mentions. So now let's dig in to number 1. Matt, we had a talk about this. And I think there is a unanimous decision for us. I don't think there can be any other number 1 for our favourite game of the show, Matt. Do you want to tell the people?
Rebirth.
Rebirth by Mighty Boards. What a game!
So I've said at the start that we spoke about this list for a couple of hours now, and number 1 it's never been in discussion.
I was like, do you know what number 1 is, Matt? You went Rebirth. Yes, you're right. It is number 1.
That's it.
Why though, Matt? Why is it number 1?
Because it's a fantastically simple game.
Yes.
With an amazing production.
Stunning.
That we already know we're gonna play and play and play and play. Because again, strategy and tactics absolutely can go very deep with a very simple set of rules.
Amazing. You have one tile. You've got all these tiles, and they're going to be in a bag in the final production. I think. But you can have them face down table. Anyway, the idea is you pick a tile and you
from
choose
your bag. Each player got his own bag,
and then you place it on the board. Real simple and beautiful. And all of your decision making gets boiled down to what can I do with this tile to make the most out of it. And the options of where you put it are going to be quite a few, especially at the start of the game. You're going to have to really think about where that's going to go. And what a tremendous decision space that is, Matt. I mean, just with such a simplicity.
It is. It's amazing. So you will try to rebirth the herd. You're going to have 2 maps that you can choose from. One is Scotland and the other one is Ireland. And basically when you place your tile on the map, you depending on what tiles you draw from the bag, you will have housing, you will have power plants, or you will have farms, or you will have farms. And you're trying to do either creating the biggest cluster that you can, or every time that you place a tile next to a castle, you can build a castle, or every time you put it in next to a monastery, you can pick up a scoring card that will let you be able to score points in different ways as well. And and it looks stunning. And we played at the 4 player. Again, you got one single tile, one single action, but you really need to think about what you're going to do.
It's amazing. And you've got a great level of area control with this game as well, which is really fantastically interactive. Once you place your tile, which builds a castle, if someone then places more tiles than you.
Yeah, the castle goes to them.
Yeah, exactly. They kick your castle off and they put their own castle in its place.
It's amazing.
Fantastic. Mighty Boards have smashed this out of the park. They've worked with Dr. Knizia, who is, I think, probably the king of tile-laying Eurogames.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, and it is such a smooth, elegant design. Like you said, beautiful production. You can get the deluxe edition if you go back it, probably at this point, late back or whatever it is.
Yeah, there's going to be some Pledge Manager opening soon.
Pretty soon, so go and do that. But even if you don't get the deluxe edition, the game is just stunning. We think it's going to do incredibly well.
Yes.
We think it hits that perfect sweet spot between being accessible but also being deep enough to play with almost anybody, from board gamers to people you bring into the hobby. I think it's got a bit of everything.
Yeah, no. As you say, you can play with your friends and never play board game and have a great time, or you can play like we did, like it was very tense because everybody knew what they were doing, trying to win the game, trying to score more points. Is absolutely incredible. Mighty Boards with this one, I thought that with Our Society, that was their top game. They managed to go above and beyond. So,
they really have.
Fantastic game. It must be our number one, Rebirth.
What a game. What a game. So that was our best in show, Matt, for UK Games Expo 2024. And just remember, for every single game that we've mentioned, we've got a video on it from the show.
Absolutely.
So literally every game.
Yeah, go check the interviews and go check the in-depth previews of those games.
Yes.
Directly from the mouths of the designer or the publisher of the game. So we got some incredible interviews. We'll link it.
No, we'll link the playlist up there to all the UKGE 2024 stuff, and everything we talked about you can find in more detail if you want to go and explore it. Matt, and what else should they do?
Hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, did you like it? Hit the red button. Show us that you care.
Please, because it really helps our channel. It'll help us to bring you more content, and just makes us happy.
This makes us happy. And we're going to Spiel this year as well, so we're going to bring you even more of the hottest, spiciest news from Spiel. So if you like this content, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, check the rest of it out, and we'll catch you again real soon.
Ciao.